Step number 1 of our 3 steps instructions is to find the spring angle of your crown molding. Now, if you're a contractor or have done crown molding projects before, you might already be familiar with spring angles. If not, you're about to learn one of the best kept secrets in crown molding, and here it is. Crown molding comes in 3 different common spring angles, and the spring angle is simply the degree that your molding sits off the wall installed. The 3 common spring angles are 38, 45, and 52 degrees. So your crown molding will either sit at 38, 45, or 52 degrees off the wall. Once you know the spring angle of your crown molding, you simply use the matching jig, and that does the adjustment for you. Now, let's find the spring angle of your crown molding. I like to cut a little 2 or 3 inch piece of crown molding and place it on the wall and ceiling like it's going to sit installed. The side with the most detail on the crown molding goes down on the wall. Now, you want to measure the distance behind the crown molding from the corner down the wall to the back of the crown molding. Then do the same from the corner across the ceiling to the back of the crown molding. Now, if these 2 measurements are exactly the same, then your spring angle is 45 degrees. If the wall measurement is larger than your ceiling measurement, then your spring angle is 38 degrees. If the wall measurement is smaller than the ceiling measurement, then your spring angle is 52 degrees. Once you determine which spring angle you have, pick up the matching jig. Step number 2 is setting your saw. Your left-hand miter is always set to half the degree of your corner. Because most corners are not square, you'll need to measure the exact degree of your corner with an angle finder or protractor. Once you've determined the exact degree of your corner, divide that number in half, and that's your saw setting. For example, an 88-degree corner divided in half would be 44 degrees. Your saw setting for both cuts are made at 44 degrees, which equals the 88-degree corner. Now, the angle finder in our kit is very simple to use. One side is rounded. On an inside corner, simply take the rounded side of the angle finder, put it into the corner, and open it until it stops. Now, on an outside corner, close it over the corner until it stops. Now, the same angle finder will also measure uphill or downhill vaulted or cathedral ceilings. Remember, your overall corner divided in half is your left-hand miter setting. Now, you might notice that on wider corners, like a 45-degree corner, your angle finder will read 135 degrees. On wider corners, it'll give you the reciprocal of the corner degree. This means you'll have to take the 180 degrees and subtract the 135 degrees to get the actual degree of the corner, which is 45 degrees. Then you divide 45 degrees in half to 22.5 degrees for your left-hand miter setting. So because most corners are not exactly square, you always want to measure the exact degree of your corner with an angle finder and set your left-hand miter on your saw to exactly half. This will give you the most accurate miters possible. Now, step number 3 is to determine which cut you need to make and follow the pictures. The 2 most common corners are inside corners and outside corners, a left side and a right side as you're facing the corner. For example, if you want to make an inside left cut, I find the picture on the instructions that says inside left. It shows you to place the tapered or small side of the jig toward the saw fence, and then place the molding on top of the jig with the face down and the detail down, and then carefully make your cut. Now, to make the opposite cut, simply spin the jig 180 degrees and flip the molding to where the face is up and the detail is up. Now, because you didn't move the saw from left to right, it's a perfect mirrored cut.